I live in a small town just outside of Sokcho, and now that I've been living here for 5 months, I'm going to tell you 5 topics about what it's like living in rural Korea. I live in the Gangwon province, which is actually the largest province in South Korea. Even though it has the lowest population out of all the provinces in South Korea, excluding Jeju, it's actually the province that hosted the 2018 Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang. The first of 5 topics about living in gangwon-do is the attractions. There are many things to see around the whole province. I haven't been to the capital, which is Cheoncheon, but as you can tell if you've seen my other videos, I have traveled quite a bit. There are beautiful caves, beautiful mountains, beautiful parks, and other amazing festivals that take place throughout the year. During the year, different towns around the province will have certain festivals like a coffee festival, a salmon festival, an ice festival, and many more. I know a lot of people that live in Seoul actually travel to this province because of their many attractions. If you're into hiking, skiing, snowboarding, then this is definitely the province for you. And number 2, clean air. The air quality in Gangwon-do is actually much better than it is in Seoul. I know most of the pollution in Seoul isn't too bad. It actually comes mostly from China. Yellow dust and microdust are common in Seoul, and they mostly come from other deserts in neighboring Asian countries, or they just come from factories that are polluting the environment. These issues aren't actually common in the Gangwon-do province. With the province being 70% mountains, the air quality is pretty good. And number 3, culture. Very few people in this province actually speak English. I live about 3 hours away from Seoul and about 7 hours away from Busan by bus. Even though I live in the semi-downtown area of my town, I do feel immersed in the Korean culture, and I get to see how the rural people live, which is nice. Sometimes when I'm walking down the street, I'll be listening to my music and I'll just happen to be looking around, and I'll look through certain windows and I would see people looking at me. And I know that seeing foreigners in rural areas is very uncommon, and I think it's especially uncommon when you're a black person. And number 4, the sea. If you're living in Seoul, you wouldn't get the benefit of having the sea so close to you. I'm lucky because the EC, or the Sea of Japan, is only a 10-minute bus ride away from me. There are a lot of beaches to go to around here, which is pretty cool. A lot of people actually like to go surfing, and that's something I do want to try, and luckily these beaches aren't crowded. As far as I know, the only time the beaches are crowded is on New Year's Day. For Korean people, it's a tradition to go to the beach on New Year's Day and watch the sunrise, which is pretty nice. And the last one, quality of life. Even with Gangwon being the most rural province, people here actually have a very good quality of life. The cost of living here is much cheaper than living in Seoul, and if you are deciding to teach here, or if you are placed here, you're definitely going to be saving some money. Everything that you need is around you. There's a number of schools, there's a number of stores, a number of clinics, a number of bars, a number of activities that you can do to keep yourself entertained. And if you're actually an EPIK teacher teaching in a rural province, you actually make an additional 100,000 won per month, which is good. And that's it for my 5 topics. When I actually applied to come to South Korea, on my application I mentioned that I wanted to teach in either Seoul, Daegu, or Busan, which is what most people do because those are the only areas of South Korea that they know. Obviously those places have high demand, and they placed me in the Gangwon province, which I'm obviously okay with now. At the time I obviously had concerns, but I do enjoy living here. I like a quieter area, and I can always go to Seoul or go to any place whenever I feel like it on the weekends. So thanks for watching. Stay dreaming, stay chasing, and I'll see you in the next one.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god, stop fucking lying.